This is my E93 330D. It's an LCI model, so the N57 engine, the later one, with a potential fuel pump issue. Basically what happened, it ran, well, it was showing a quarter tank of fuel, but it didn't start up. And I ended up putting about 10 litres of fuel in, and then it managed to kind of fire up. So I'm thinking, I feel like maybe the fuel, the filter at the bottom of the fuel pump is kind of dirty or something along them lines. But I'm just going to open it up just to see. There might not be anything there. Might just had like a misread or something. But yeah, I'm going to open up the fuel pump and just try and see what I can figure out. So first things first is, I believe it's on this side. So this is on the driver's side, rear. And what you want to do is these seats, you can just pull them up. It's a bit rainy at the moment, so I'm doing this from front seat. There we go, there's one. Right, there's two. What you want to do, slide it out. This bit coming out as well. Slide this out. Probably gonna have to go to the back, but essentially underneath here what we've got is that. I think I'm gonna have to go to the back. Yeah, there's 4 10mm nuts which are holding that down, and my car is running at the moment, so I won't disconnect it just yet. But under that there should be some plugs on top of the fuel pump. So yeah, we'll go ahead and remove that plate and disconnect those. Right, so we've gone ahead and taken this sort of cover thing off, which it's screwed in. So you can see there's these sort of little tabs in there which screw in around this. And it was in there really tight, so I had to get this on there and kind of hammer off the end until it was loose enough. And now then it sprung up once I got it out, and yeah, you can see there's that thing there, and you got these little plugs in here. There's that little tab at the end over there, that little green one. So if we push that in, it should allow us to take this pipe off. There we go, that one's come off. There's this one, got that little tab there, just where my thumb is. Push that in and that one comes out. This pipe just over here, get this one out. So that just literally unclips. BMW actually made something that's not unnecessarily complicated. I say that, but in comparison to others, it probably still is. Slowly but surely, and then you've got the level at the bottom, which you want to be careful with. Okay, so if we turn it this way like this, put the level just over here like that, and then you can turn it at an angle and you can get it out. And I'm going to try and just spill all that fuel back in there if I can as well. And this thing has just dropped in there out of mine, so be careful with that. Right, so I had to bring this inside because it's floating freezing out there. So now, in all honesty, to be able to take this off, I just realised you're going to have to break or kind of attach it. It's glued in. You can see that bit there is literally glued in. There's a piece that's still on there. So this essentially is meant to be one complete unit. Now this bit is just like a holder. It's not that important. I don't really want to break this bit. And that's the pump there itself. And these tabs over here are going to be the same. They're going to be glued in. And all I wanted to do was just get to the bottom of that filter there and clean it up. That little mesh at the bottom. I just wanted to clean that. But it looks like I'd have to do the same thing with this over here, and I don't really like breaking bits. Although this won't have an issue going back in as it is. Yeah, I'm not really too much of a fan of doing that. To take this piece off, it literally just clips it in. So this is your kind of fuel level sensor, let's say. It just slides in over here. Got these two little wires on the side, and it slides in or slides out from there. That came out quite easy. And it looks fine. But yeah, I don't really want to mess about with this thing at the bottom. So I suppose if it still helps anyone, just exactly what is involved with this. At this point you could just change the fuel pump itself. But yeah, I'm going to probably play around with it a little bit more. But I'm not too keen on breaking this apart just for the sake of that. I'd rather just change the fuel pump. So we've got this all back together, as hard as it was with that bloody top bit that kind of broke. But yeah, it's all back in. Also, you just want to make sure these wires aren't trapped. I've got to tighten down these 10 mils yet. But yeah, you just want to make sure these wires aren't trapped anywhere. The plugs are back in properly as well. On the fuel pump side as well, of course. To be honest, the ones on the fuel pump side, I think they only go one way anyway. And then when I was putting it back in as well, I chucked some fuel into the fuel pump. Just literally poured it in there. And to be honest, it catches a bit from the bottom anyway, so yeah, you're alright in that sense. But yeah, I just poured some in there just because I didn't want to kind of firing up dry. And then what I'm going to do as well is kind of circulate the fuel in there a little bit as well. So I've got the key in, and I'm just going to turn the ignition on and off a few times. If you don't have something to say bleed the pump, for example, you can just do this. So don't hear a lot in there, to be honest. I should do. I'll fire it up for a second, just to be sure. Give it the old crank. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's fired right up. No problemo. So yeah, we'll tighten up those 10 mils on there and call it a day. So yeah, I hope that helps.